Hi, this is Dr. Richard Jolliff, and I am so glad to have this next few moments with you to talk about leadership. I have over 30 years of ministry experience and successful ministry experience, and so I'm excited that I have this opportunity just to come here on our YouTube channel and be able to share some of that information with you. We have an exciting message we're going to get into for the next couple of weeks, but before we do that, let me encourage you to hit that like button that's there, the thumbs up, and let us know you like this program. If you don't like it, then go ahead and hit the thumbs down. We want you to be honest. There's also a comment section. We love to hear from you that are making comments from around the world, letting us know that you like the program, the information's helping you. We just appreciate that so much. Also, if you're a G Plus member, there is a G Plus there that you can click on that button and let us know through the Google engine that you like what we're doing. We're going to talk about time management today. We're going to share about how to get back control of your time. And this is a message I do periodically just because I need to hear it and to remind me, especially here in the summer, we're right in the middle of all this stuff going on and traveling and getting all our vacations in as much as we can, going to the beach, going camping, going hoteling, going to the theme parks. We've been real busy here at Amazing Grace. We just finished a huge camp meeting. So time seems like it gets a little bit out of control. So I'm going to talk with you about how to get back control of your time, especially before we get into September. And you're going to I always feel like I hit the ground running in September with just the new activities and things that we need to do. So let's talk about how that we can take control of our time. A man by the name of Charles Richard said this: "Don't be fooled by the calendar. There are only as many days in the year as we make use of. One person gets a week's value out of a year, while another person gets a full year's value out of a week." I think that's powerful, and so we want to learn how to do that. I want to get a lot done in a short period of time, and I'm a big multitasker. I believe in multitasking. People ask us, how are you able to accomplish so much? I multitask like crazy. I always got something that I'm involved in, 2 or 3 things. If I have downtime, I'm listening to podcasts. I'm studying about how to be a better leader. I mean, all kinds of things that a better pastor. I think you just have to multitask and keep yourself busy. Let's talk about how we can get more out of our workday. This is a little test that you can do that you can just ask yourself some of these questions. This is a quiz. It's based on the concepts of Jimmy Calano, Jeff Salzman, founder of Career Track, which is a leading national training organization. You just answer these yes or no. 1, do you plan tomorrow's work today? Or do you have a plan for what you're going to do tomorrow? Have you learned, this is number 2, to perform routine chores at your daily low ebb and creative tasks at your high peak? I typically, and a lot of people are this way, I'm a morning person. I get up at 5 a.m., 6 a.m. I get a lot done before 8 a.m. even gets here. And so are you a morning person? If you are a morning person, man, that's when you want to put those creative juices to work. I write a lot of my letters, do my videos, all those things in the morning because I'm on top of the game. But by afternoon, a little bit draggy. Even coffee won't really pick that up. And so I try to have a little bit more downtime and do my routine things in the afternoon. And then I pick back up in the evening. So it's a pretty amazing thing. A pastor years ago told me that you have to break your day into 3 segments. You don't want to be busy all 3 segments if you can help it. And try to keep at least one. Go morning, afternoons, and evenings. And if you're going to work mornings and evenings, then you need to really keep the afternoon relatively open. If you're going to work all afternoon and into the evening, keep your mornings open. And I think that's there's a lot of wisdom to that. Number 3, do you get unpleasant duties out of the way as soon as possible? Sometimes we keep putting those things off. When we talked about procrastination, how that, that's the natural assassin of opportunity, according to Victor Kayyem. And so we have to be careful with that. Get those things done as soon as possible. Number 4, have you tried a preview review running the day through your head on the way to work? Meaning that when you look at your workday, is that the right way to get things done? Taking a preview and reviewing what you're doing. Number 5, are you able to deal bluntly with people who waste your time? Oh, man. Well, if you're a pastor, you know how difficult that can be because you can offend people very easily by saying, I've got to be somewhere, or I've got another meeting to go to, or I'm busy right now. Because sometimes people just want to spend a lot of time talking to you, sharing their thoughts. They're not really looking for answers. They're just wanting to talk. And that can be difficult. Now, in the workplace, you have to learn to just excuse yourself, that you have things you have to do. And so they have things they need to do. You got things you need to do. So you have to ask yourself, is that something that you actually are able to do? Do you know how to log your time? That is, occasionally write down just how long it takes to accomplish each day's tasks. So I think this is a really good thing to do, is to go back, and we'll talk a little bit about this later, but sometimes the way to break out of something is to log what you've been doing. You can find out how much time you're wasting. It's like my physical trainer, he told me that one of the ways to break your food routines is that, your diet, you wonder, where's all this coming from? How am I putting weight on? He said, is sit down and start logging what you're eating. You'll find out real quick that there's a lot more junk in there and a lot higher amounts that you're eating than you're supposed to. And so that's a good thing. Go back and log through. All right. When you promise that you'll get something done on time, do you always keep your word? That's pretty self-explanatory. Do you set aside a portion of each day to think, create, and to plan? I think that's an important aspect as well. Is your desk or other workplace tidy? And can you find what you need without wasting time? Interestingly enough, I know with my stuff all looks very tidy, but if you get into the drawers, sometimes it can be a little bit messy. I have to go through periodically and just clean stuff out. For whatever reason, we hoard things, keep things. We think we might need them later, but we're not going to need them. And so that can definitely be a huge, huge time waster. All right, and then number 10, do you have an efficient filing or equipment organization system? Alex de Tocqueville said this in 1840, the American is always in a hurry. Time magazine cover story, 1989, America has run out of time. In your lifetime, if you live to be 72 years, you'll spend 24 years sleeping. You'll spend 12 years working. You'll spend 1 to 2 years in bathroom basics, 4 to 6 years eating, 2 years traveling, 0.35 years waiting in line, and especially if you go to amusement parks, you know that can be a long time that you can end up waiting. 2 years learning, 0.5 years in meetings. I know some of those meetings can seem like they lasted 0.5 years. 0.3 years in returning calls, 0.3 years searching for things lost, 9 months in worship, 3 months opening junk mail, 1 month waiting at red lights. Here was the top time wasters, personal time wasters that people dealt with. These are time wasters that are caused by me. Looking for things, that's one of the top ones. 2, interruptions. And then 3 is television. Those can be huge time wasters. The number one time waster that also can work in a people's life is that television. That can be a major, major factor in taking up just way too much of your time. Lack of preparation, being on the telephone, waiting on others. These are things that can be huge time wasters. That's all we're going to have time for this week. We'll be back next week. We'll continue on with Leadership to Go, talking about the time wasters, ways to overcome and to take back your time. Before we go, let me encourage you. There is a comment section below this video. I'd love to hear from you and what your thoughts are on time, things maybe you've found that work good for you. What are the best ways you've found to organize your time and to get that creative time, to get it up there at the high priority in your daily life? I'd love to hear from you and hear what you've done to be able to do that. Also, there's a thumbs up and a thumbs down. There's also a G+. You can click on that. We'll be back next week and we'll continue to talk about how to take back your time.